Hey everyone, I am Chris Knight, and you are watching the Real Review 3000 here today with a little opinion piece by, of course, me. This is about Anthony Daniels coming out and saying that he understands the fans who aren't happy with the current trilogy. He understands Mark Hamill's issues with it, and he also has a few issues himself with it. We're going to go over here, and we're going to put this up right now. Star Wars 9. C3PO Anthony Daniels reveals his disappointment with the new films. It breaks down basically just his stuff he has to say about it. Like with the fans' dislike of the new trilogy, he says, well, yes, I do understand why the fans are unhappy. It speaks to the devotion that they care so much that they mind if someone messes with it. I understand people being critical of the films. Well, that's great, because that's the important thing, is that here's an actor who's in these films who understands. Now, Mark Hamill, I know he understands too, but he has kind of this cynical way of showing it. I actually don't mind the way that Mark Hamill handles himself with these things. It's obvious he was not happy with the way that Luke was portrayed. And I don't know if it's so much that he didn't like the way he was portrayed, or that he is with like people like me who say there's no context to get us to where this trilogy says Luke is at. There's nothing showing why he's there. About that, Anthony Daniels does have something to say about Mark Hamill and his part in the new trilogy, and Hamill's dismay. About Hamill, he says, I know it's been particularly difficult for him lately because the new movies haven't given him much to do. I certainly recognize that and can relate to it. He says about himself, in these new movies, I have felt like a table decoration, and that's difficult because I recognize this character is worth so much more. But I understand it's a whole film and not a feature about C3PO. That is just my personal disappointment. I get paid whether or not he does anything, but it would be nice for him to have a purpose. So, right there, he kind of insinuates that the way they've treated these characters from the original trilogy isn't quite up to par of the way that they probably should have been handled. And I think we all know that. It's kind of nice, again, to hear directly from an actor saying, you know, they could have done more with us. We had a bigger part in this. Now, about the prequels, this is kind of interesting in this article. He does mention the prequels, and I remember hearing that he was pretty much done with C3PO after the original trilogy. He was never really a big fan of doing this. In fact, originally he was insulted that George Lucas even asked him to come and interview for it. But his agent made him do it, and he said from there on he became more endeared to the character of C3PO. But about the prequels, Anthony Daniels does say, it was certainly a bit weird in the prequels, but I accepted the storylines were very different. I was very glad to be there, although they weren't much fun to do. So, you know, he's had issues with most of these, and that's probably something that needs to be said. So, about episode 9, although he claims he can't say much, and most of them are saying that right now, he does say that C3PO has a major arc. I am very satisfied with what I had to do in this movie, and I'm very satisfied with everything I know about this movie. What that major arc is, of course, we've got people out there speculating that C3PO dies, that C3PO, I don't know, I've heard people say that they think C3PO is going to be somehow piloting the Millennium Falcon and somehow use it as a sabotage tactic. Who knows? You know, we'll see. But I'm kind of interested that they're saying that C3PO, or that he says that C3PO has a major arc, because they haven't used C3PO hardly at all in this movie, or in these movies. So now about the fans who are threatening boycott and all of that, and the people who don't like this trilogy, he does say this: people should be respectfully critical. The toxicity was shocking and unpleasant, and often wrong. To be venomous and cruel is against the ethos of the story about goodness. I get tweets from people saying they will never watch another Star Wars film again. Well, I bet they do. Everybody needs to see how it ends. Although I hope they do because, and I hope they do because from everything I've seen so far, it's going to be rather good. So I have a few things to say on this. The toxicity went both ways, I think. I noticed people saying things to me. I try to be 100% cordial when I respond to tweets or when I tweet to somebody else. I don't call names. I don't say that they're bad people. I just point out where they're wrong. When they say like the Phantom Menace is only people who hate the movie. Well, I don't hate the movie, especially Last Jedi. I don't hate these movies. But I recognize the problems, and that's what we're talking about here. Now, if people are tweeting him and being disrespectful, this isn't necessarily anything that the actors can do anything about. It's not like they can get up, stand up, and say, well, no, I'm not doing this. Well, they're just going to find somebody else to wear the damn costume. Let's be honest. If Anthony Daniels tries to make a stand and say, I don't like this, we're not doing it, I'm not doing it, they're just going to put somebody else in the C3PO. That's just how it works. So I think they're trying to do this to give fans a final, here it is, this is it, we're done. And there's something to be said about that. That's respect on their part to at least try to bring this all to a conclusion for the fans. So we need to remember that as fans. But with that said, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know if you think that Anthony Daniels has some good points. And yeah, do me a favor, hit that like button. Smash the like button, hit that bell so you know when we're coming out with new stuff, and also hit that subscribe button. We're going up in subscribers, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Remember, subscribers for a cause. I'll put the link down below for our GoFundMe page where we're raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, trying to make it up to trying to make some money as we make it to 1,000 subscribers, trying to help people out. That all goes straight to the charity, not to me, not to anybody else, straight to the charity. Also, don't forget to ask me about hashtag PandaSuitMary. Remember, that's a very important thing when we get to 1,000 subscribers. So everybody, I am Chris Knight. This has been The Real Review 3000, and I'm officially out of here.
Hey guys, thanks for checking us out. Be sure to subscribe to both channels, and make sure to check out our friends in the Phantom Menace. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and BitChute, and you can also send us an email at sean@seanstackhousereacts.com and chrisknight@therealreview3000.com. Be sure to swing by our Teespring store to pick up some awesome merchandise.